the vast darkness of space, the research vessel Horizon glided silently. Captain Kim Park stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing an uncharted planet in the Andromeda sector. Beside him, navigator Elena Rodriguez checked the ship's systems with careful precision. The planet looked unusual, a swirling mix of emerald green and deep blue, with strange geometric formations visible from orbit. No human expedition had ever explored this region before. Their mission was simple: investigate, collect data, and return safely. As they descended through the planet's atmosphere, the ship's sensors began picking up strange energy signatures. Massive crystal-like structures emerged from dense forests, reflecting light in impossible patterns. The landscape seemed both alien and strangely symmetrical, as if designed by an intelligent force. The landing was smooth. Kim and Elena, along with their science team of 4 researchers, prepared their exploration gear. Protective suits sealed, oxygen tanks checked, communication systems synchronized. The airlock opened with a soft hiss, revealing a world unlike anything they had imagined. Strange vegetation surrounded them, plants that seemed to pulse with internal light, rocks that appeared to breathe and shift subtly. The ground beneath. Their feet wasn't entirely solid. It felt almost like a living membrane that responded to their movements. Dr. Mark Chen, the lead xenobiologist, was fascinated. His scanning equipment detected complex molecular structures in everything around them. "These life forms," he whispered into his communication device. "They're not just alive. They're interconnected in ways we've never seen." Suddenly, a low humming sound emerged from the crystal structures. The team froze. The crystals began to glow, creating intricate light patterns that seemed to communicate something. Elena's translation algorithms struggled to make sense of the signals. Something was watching them. Not threatening, but curious. As hours passed, they discovered the planet wasn't just a place, it was a complex living ecosystem where every element was connected. The crystals were more than geological formations. They were communication nodes, information storage, and possibly a form of collective intelligence. Their discovery would change everything humanity understood about life, intelligence, and the universe. But they were also aware of the immense responsibility. This wasn't just a scientific expedition. This was first contact with a potentially sentient planetary system. Kim realized they were no longer just explorers. They were witnesses to something extraordinary. As their exploration continued, the planet revealed more mysteries: floating energy networks, responsive environmental systems, communication patterns that suggested a form of planetary consciousness. The Horizon's mission had transformed from a simple research expedition to humanity's most significant encounter with alien intelligence. Their small team stood at the threshold of a discovery that would rewrite scientific understanding forever. The story ends with potential, with wonder, with the infinite possibilities of human exploration stretching before them like the endless stars. In a small laboratory nestled in the mountains of Colorado, Dr. Rachel Kim worked tirelessly. Her research focused on a revolutionary concept: repairing damaged human neural networks using synthetic biological compounds. Most scientists had dismissed her theories as impossible, but she remained determined. Her team consisted of 3 dedicated researchers: Michael, a neurobiologist; Daniel, a biochemist; and Sarah, a computational expert. They had been working for 3 years on a breakthrough that could potentially restore brain function in patients with severe neurological damage. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. During a routine experiment, Michael noticed something strange happening with their synthetic neural protein. Under specific electromagnetic frequencies, the protein demonstrated an extraordinary ability to regenerate and reconnect damaged neural pathways. Initial tests on laboratory mice showed remarkable results. Mice with simulated brain injuries began displaying restored cognitive functions. Their motor skills improved, and neural scans revealed unprecedented healing patterns. Dr. Kim knew they were onto something extraordinary. This wasn't just another scientific experiment. This could transform medical treatment for millions of people suffering from brain injuries. degenerative diseases, and neurological disorders. The team worked around the clock, refining their methodology. They developed a complex delivery mechanism that could introduce the synthetic protein precisely where it was needed in the human brain. Computer simulations predicted an 87% success rate in neural reconstruction. Government and private research institutions began showing intense interest. Funding offers poured in, but Dr. Kim was cautious. She understood the ethical implications of their discovery and wanted to ensure responsible development. Their first human trial would be critical. They selected patients with severe traumatic brain injuries who had minimal recovery prospects. The medical community watched with a mixture of skepticism and hope. The initial results were beyond expectations. Patients who had been unresponsive for years started showing signs of cognitive recovery. Motor functions improved, and some patients began communicating after years of silence. Dr. Kim's team documented every detail. Each patient's progress was meticulously recorded, analyzed, and verified by independent medical professionals. Their research was turning science fiction into reality. As news spread, medical researchers worldwide became excited. The potential applications seemed endless, from treating Alzheimer's to helping stroke victims recover lost functions. Dr. Kim's synthetic neural protein represented a quantum leap in medical science. However, challenges remained. They needed to understand the long-term effects of their treatment. Could there be unexpected consequences? How would the human body respond years after the initial intervention? The team continued refining their research, conducting extensive tests and simulations. They knew that rushing could compromise their groundbreaking work. Media attention grew. Scientific journals competed to publish their findings. Documentaries began exploring the potential impact of their discovery. Dr. Kim remained focused, avoiding the spotlight and continuing her meticulous research. Their work represented more than a medical breakthrough. It symbolized human potential, the ability to understand, decode, and potentially repair the most complex system known, the human brain. As their research progressed, Dr. Kim and her team stood at the forefront of a medical revolution. They had transformed a seemingly impossible dream into a tangible reality, offering hope to millions around the world. The story of their discovery was just beginning, with infinite possibilities stretching before them like an uncharted scientific landscape. In the year 2157, humanity faced its greatest challenge. A massive asteroid named Terminus was on a collision course with Earth. Traditional defense systems were useless against its immense size and velocity. Global extinction seemed inevitable. Captain Arya Chen of the United Earth Space Command knew they needed an unprecedented solution. For the first time in human history, multiple alien civilizations would need to work together to save a planet. The Galactic Council, a loose confederation of spacefaring civilizations, gathered for an emergency session. Representatives from 12 different alien species assembled, each with unique technological capabilities. The Zorian engineers, known for their advanced gravitational manipulation technology, sat beside the telepathic neural communicators. The silicon-based Krell architects discussed strategies with the energy-based Luminara. Initial discussions were tense. Historical conflicts and cultural differences threatened to derail cooperation. Some alien representatives viewed Earth's potential destruction with indifference. Others saw an opportunity to help a young civilization. Captain Chen presented a complex plan. By combining technologies from different species, they could potentially deflect or fragment the asteroid. The Zorian gravitational generators, Krell, precision engineering, and Luminara energy transfer systems might create a solution. The plan required absolute precision. They would need to create a massive energy field that could alter the asteroid's trajectory. Each species would contribute, a critical component of the defense mechanism. Days turned into weeks of intense planning. Scientists and engineers from different worlds worked side by side, translating complex technical languages and overcoming communication barriers. Cultural differences slowly gave way to a shared goal of planetary preservation. The neural telepaths played a crucial role in coordinating communication. Their ability to create instantaneous mental links helped bridge technological and linguistic gaps between species. What would have taken years of negotiation now happened in days. Preparation began. A massive interstellar fleet assembled near Jupiter, the largest collaborative effort in galactic history. Ships from 12 different civilizations formed a complex defensive network. Each vessel was equipped with specially designed technology to combat the asteroid. As Terminus approached, tension mounted. Earth's population watched live broadcasts, hoping for a miracle. Scientists and military personnel from around the world monitored every detail of the operation. The first phase of the plan involved the Zorian gravitational generators. Massive energy fields would attempt to alter the asteroid's trajectory. Precise calculations were crucial. Even a minor mistake could send the asteroid directly toward Earth. Krell engineering teams had developed specialized energy dispersal modules. These would help fragment the asteroid if direct deflection proved impossible. Their silicon-based computational systems calculated millions of potential scenarios per second. The Luminara contributed an unprecedented energy transfer technology. They could potentially convert the asteroid's kinetic energy into a harmless form, reducing its destructive potential. As the moment of truth approached, Captain Chen realized this was more than a military operation. This was a testament to what intelligent species could achieve through cooperation. The first energy pulses struck the asteroid. Massive gravitational fields began to shift its trajectory. Real-time data streamed between ships, each species contributing critical information and adjusting strategies millisecond by millisecond. Unexpected challenges emerged. The asteroid's composition was more complex than initial scans suggested. It contained unusual mineral structures that resisted standard intervention techniques. The neural telepaths discovered something extraordinary. The asteroid wasn't just a random space rock. It contained complex molecular structures that suggested artificial origins. Could this be a remnant of an ancient civilization? This discovery changed everything. Now, the mission was not just about planetary defense, but potential archaeological preservation. In a moment of incredible precision, the combined technologies of 12 different civilizations worked in perfect harmony. The asteroid's trajectory shifted. Fragments began to disperse, reducing its potential for global destruction. Earth was saved, but more importantly, something profound had happened. 12 different civilizations had set aside their differences. They had worked together, shared technology, and accomplished the impossible. Captain Chen watched the final reports come in. Tears filled her eyes, not just from relief, but from the understanding that humanity was no longer alone in the universe. The Galactic Council had transformed from a diplomatic body to a true cooperative force. This moment would be remembered as the first true example of interstellar collaboration. As celebration erupted across Earth and multiple alien worlds, a new era of understanding began. The threat had united them, but mutual respect would keep them together. Humanity had survived. But more than that, they had been welcomed into a larger, more complex galactic community. The story of Terminus would be told for generations, a tale of how different species, separated by vast distances and incredible differences, could come together and achieve the impossible. In the remote mountain regions of northern Chile, a small research team found themselves trapped after a devastating earthquake. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a geologist with 20 years of experience, knew their survival depended on careful planning and teamwork. The earthquake had destroyed their primary research station. Communication equipment was damaged. Their supplies were limited, enough food and water for maybe 5 days. Outside temperatures dropped rapidly, and the mountainous terrain made rescue attempts nearly impossible. The team consisted of 6 researchers: Elena, 2 geologists, a botanist, a meteorologist, and a young research assistant named Marco. Each person brought unique skills that would be crucial for survival. Their first challenge was assessment. The research station was partially collapsed with critical equipment buried under massive rock fragments. Marco, despite being the youngest, demonstrated remarkable problem-solving skills. He quickly organized the team to create a safe shelter. Using remaining equipment and materials from the collapsed building, Dr. Carlos Mendez, the senior geologist, used his expertise to evaluate their surrounding terrain. He identified potential risks of additional landslides and recommended safe zones for their temporary camp. His knowledge would prove critical in preventing further potential disasters. Water became their primary concern. The nearby mountain stream was their only potential water source. Elena tested the water using their remaining scientific equipment, ensuring it was safe for consumption. They would need to boil every drop to prevent potential contamination. Food was scarce. The botanist, Sophia, recognized several edible mountain plants that could supplement their limited food supplies. Her knowledge of local vegetation became their unexpected lifeline. They collected roots, certain mountain herbs, and prepared small meals that would provide essential nutrients. Communication remained their biggest challenge. Their satellite phones were destroyed, and radio equipment was damaged. They would need to rely on their own skills and resourcefulness. Marco discovered a partially functional radio transmitter. Though damaged, he believed he could repair it, using components from other scientific equipment. His determination impressed the entire team. For 2 days, he worked meticulously, understanding that their potential rescue depended on his skills. On the 3rd day, temperatures dropped dramatically. They created an insulated shelter using research equipment, plastic coverings, and emergency thermal blankets. Each team member took turns maintaining the shelter, ensuring everyone remained warm and protected. The meteorologist, Dr. Rodriguez, tracked weather patterns. She predicted potential storm systems that could further complicate their rescue. Her forecasts helped the team prepare and conserve energy. Their psychological state became as important as their physical survival. Elena organized group discussions, ensuring everyone remained focused and supportive. They shared stories, discussed their research, and maintained a sense of hope. Marco's radio repair became their beacon of hope. On the 4th day, after countless hours of careful work, he managed to send a distress signal. The team's excitement was tempered with caution. They knew the signal might not be received. Survival became a collective effort. Each person contributed uniquely. Carlos monitored geological stability. Sophia found food sources. The meteorologist tracked environmental conditions. Marco maintained their communication hopes. Rescue seemed impossible, but they refused to surrender. The 6th day, just as their supplies were nearly exhausted, they heard a distant helicopter sound. Marco's repaired radio had worked. A rescue team had tracked their location through his carefully transmitted coordinates. When rescuers arrived, they found not a group of defeated researchers, but a team that had systematically overcome every challenge. Their scientific training combined with human resilience had kept them alive. The rescue team was amazed. Most groups would have succumbed to despair. This team had transformed a potential tragedy into a story of human endurance. Elena looked at her team with pride. They had not just survived. They had demonstrated the incredible potential of human cooperation and determination. Their research station was destroyed. Their original mission was interrupted. But they had gained something far more valuable, a profound understanding of human potential. As they were transported to safety, each team member knew they had experienced something extraordinary. They had faced impossible circumstances and emerged stronger. The mountain had tested them. They had not just survived, they had conquered.